Hey. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hey. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good to have you all. Cynthia, hello, welcome. Hey, welcome. Cynthia ASMR Fruits, welcome. Good to have you, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. Taste like Cornelius, welcome. Sister Winnie, good to have you. Welcome. Yeah, let's warm up. Welcome, Cynthia. Good to have you.
Wanna kiss you early in the morning. Go, Charlie. You know it's only you that I want.
Welcome.
Wanna kiss you early in the morning. Go, Charlie. You know it's only you that I want.
Welcome. Good to have you all. Thank you so much. Please kindly thumbs up and share out to your community if you have one. Let's have more people come in here, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. Share out to your community. Let's have more people come in here, okay? Welcome. I appreciate your comment. Give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind. Please give me peace of mind. Please give me peace of mind. Welcome everyone. Kindly thumbs up as you're coming in. Thumbs up and share out to your community. Let's have more people coming here, okay? Yeah. Please give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind.
Yes, I need you and I want you. You're the only one for me.
Welcome.
The world is stressing me out. You, cause I know it's that. And you're my company. Anytime I call you, you can turn up. And you always come through for me.
Peace of mind, yeah.
You make me feel what's like the ocean.
You give me peace of mind, yeah.
Your body still have an attention.
You give me peace of mind, yeah. You give me peace of mind. Please give me peace of mind. Welcome. I have amazing people at the background. I think they are still watching the ads. Welcome. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. You give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind. Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining the stream tonight. It's a pleasure to have you all. Thank you. Welcome. Kindly click the thumbs up and share in your community. Let's jump right straight into today's topic, which is paternity fraud. That's what we'll be discussing tonight. By the way, how is your day going? How has your day been? How is it going? Hope you are having an amazing time and your day has been blessed. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. How was work today? Business, Whitey Street, whatever it is. Hope it's been amazing. Every one of you, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And before we go in, we just received sad news right now, and it's heartbreaking that Queen Elizabeth is gone. And we just want to take out a minute of silence to say, may her soul rest in peace. May her soul rest in peace. She lived a life, a life, a very fulfilled life, well accomplished life. She lived to her ripe old age, and we are grateful to God for her life, well spent here on earth. May her soul rest in peace. Welcome, Olufunke Fatoki. Welcome. Thank you. Authentic Black woman. Welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Queens, for joining me tonight. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure to have you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. Kindly click the thumbs up, okay? Consistent, please. Hello, gorgeous woman. Thank you so much, woman of God. Happy anniversary, by the way. Oh my God, you are looking so glamorous on your anniversary. Thank you so much. Consistently. We need a full clip of that anniversary celebration. You know that. We need a full clip. Please. Please do that for us. We want to see that. Nemuzo Wanyoma, thank you so much for coming. Welcome. I appreciate you. Thanks everyone for joining the stream. I was just saying, just talking about the passing of Queen Elizabeth. It's heartbreaking, though we thank God for a life well spent. May her soul rest in peace. She lived a fulfilled life. She lived up to a very full, ripe old age. So we are grateful to God for a life well spent here on earth. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. Without wasting so much time, let us go straight into today's topic, which is paternity fraud. Paternity fraud is something that, God help us, we don't know how we got to this place, but the truth remains that it is not news. It is not something that just started happening. It's been happening. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was paid for attendance, so I can't release it to public. Okay, it's a workshop for couples I do every year. Oh dear, it's okay, we understand. I mean, I love the ones I saw. You were looking so glamorous, especially when your husband was opening the car door for you and you step out and say, the husband is bringing her out of the car. Oh my gosh. Yes, 17 years anniversary, right, if I'm not mistaken. Many more beautiful years to you and your husband. We pray and ask that the marriage will get sweeter, like wine. The older it gets, the sweeter it will be. So we pray that it will just be sweeter by the grace of God. Thank you so much, Nemuzo. Thank you so much, Nemuzo. Okay, however, I'll release the clips. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Cynthia, for coming. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you. Kindly click the thumbs up and share out in your community. Like I said, we'll be talking about paternity test. You know, there's this saying that only a woman knows the true father of her child or children. And that statement is not far-fetched. Like, it is a reality. It is the reality we live in today. Paternity fraud is becoming more and more rampant all over the world. It's not just in Africa. Someone recently, there's a research that was conducted. I can't really authenticate the research, but it says that in Nigeria, for as it stands now, Nigeria stands second in ranking when it comes to paternity fraud. And I know it's not just in Nigeria, it's happening almost everywhere, in every part of the world. Melfierce Fitness, hey, gorgeous queen, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. It's happening everywhere, and it's becoming like a daily occurrence. Like, women are becoming fearless these days. There's someone in, I don't know the kind of courage I'm going to call this, but seriously, the kind of courage women are having to do this, it baffles me. You know, there are a couple of the same stories I'll be reading out here, and it's so heartbreaking that some people don't really see anything wrong with that. Like, it's becoming a normal thing for a married woman to step out of her of the of the comfort of her marriage. Pat Yaba, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Pat, hey, I've missed you, Pat. Okay, you were here yesterday, but you are busy, I understand. Thank you so much. You know, it's a couple of it's becoming like, it's as if women are developing extra liver to want to do this, and they get away with it. But if you mention DNA, Okwawa everywhere, just mention DNA to a lot of married women now, and you hear them shouting, what's the need? Is it that you don't trust me? No, it is that you don't trust women. No, you can't do this. Mention DNA and all hell will be let loose. Yet, men wake up daily to discover that the children they've been fathering, they've been taking full responsibility of, full custody of, are not their children. Oh, yeah, yes, world, welcome, Wanyoma. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. You know, stories left, right, and center is just coming from every angle. You know, the recent one was a guy who loved this girl so much, this little princess, just a couple of days ago. Okay, they can't get away with it. Never they fail. Yeah, consequences await, and it will strike. Yep. Beside women really catching cruise with humans, I tell you. You know, this guy recently broke down. He was in tears. This beautiful princess of his that he has doted on so much. You know, fathers and their daughters. Only for him to discover that this daughter of his, this supposed daughter, isn't his daughter. I was just coming from a live stream right now, and a man, from what they were discussing there, Oyoyo was there, Mel PS Fitness was there. Five children were not his. Or is it the one that wanted to sponsor the wife and 2 children abroad? The plan has been made already for them to relocate, and he decided to conduct a DNA test for them because it is compulsory now. Only, welcome, Oyoyo. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. Hello, beautiful woman. Maybe I should go on my laptop because I'm looking so big here.
Yeah. But I love the background I'm seeing. Welcome, Miss Anne Space. I love the background I'm seeing, Wanyoma.
Yeah, see how my Bobby is looking as if he's that big.
The Bobby is big. He's big. You cannot squeeze it down. Hello.
It's the camera.
Allow the Bobby is naturally, you are naturally endowed. You can't press it down.
See, host, thank you for having this conversation. It's like a continuation from what we just did this afternoon.
That was what I was saying. That what a coincidence, because I didn't even know you guys would be talking about that. And then I jumped on it and I discovered that, oh, we're talking about almost the same thing, you know. I mean, you know what prompted this? I saw a clip of a guy that broke down. He just he applied for a visa, and then of course, you know, you have to conduct DNA in most countries now. For you to travel, it is compulsory now for you to do a DNA test on your children, which he did, only for this man to discover that the children were not his.
Yeah.
Now this guy is saying, he's saying the wife is not even aware yet, because he's in a closed group. The wife is not aware that he did a DNA test on the children, and the result is out, and the children are not his.
Whoa.
So what he plans on doing right now is to just let the woman go with the children, and then he will just remove his hand. And then break the news to her that, go ahead, I am not, the woman will sponsor the tree. Zoe
Okay.
Zenata, welcome. Thank you so much, Zoe. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. So his plan is she will sponsor the trip. He will give a go ahead. You know, they will go. And then he will end the marriage there.
Wow.
But every day we hear this day in. Now, you know, it's something that happened. This one, I have seen this. A woman, my classmate in school, was busy sleeping with one of our lecturers. Seeing these ties, welcome, Queen. Thank you so much. If you're a woman, give his husband. Thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate you. Now, this classmate of mine was sleeping with a lecturer, one of our lecturers who wanted to marry her. He's single. And then another student. He was shuttling between the two without either of them knowing, student and lecturer. And then she got pregnant. When she got pregnant, she didn't know. Classmate friends. She didn't know who owns the pregnancy. And she was just crying. The lecturer was already making plans for them to get married. Okay. Why the student, has no plan for them to get married. You get now the wedding plan is already in progress. And she confessed that yes, she slept with, in fact, they had to start calculating who owns the pregnancy, who slept with who during ovulation. And she was like, she slept with the lecturer the first day of the ovulation. She slept with the student on the third day of the ovulation. So she doesn't really know who owns the pregnancy.
Hey.
But what happened was that the lecturer accepted the pregnancy and married her. What if tomorrow something comes up and he decides to conduct a DNA test only for him to discover that the child is not his? Already he's not so sure, but he decided to take the risk. Forgive her, took the risk. Oh, yo, this is what is happening. Cornelius Opudili, welcome. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. So, and then you see some women are claiming, when they are caught, they claim these children were switched at the hospital. They had no, clue. And this is what we'll be discussing today. Is it mistake, deliberate, or just sheer coincidence? Like, is it a mistake? To some people, they are claiming, yes, theirs was a mistake. Their babies were probably switched, which we know a lot of people do, especially some of these fraudulent hospitals.
Yeah.
That switch babies, especially when someone needs a male child desperately and you have a female child. So what they do is to swap the babies. These things have been happening until recently, when men have decided that from birth, they will have to, some who have the money, that they will conduct paternity test, which is this DNA test, from the day the baby was delivered at the hospital, to be sure of who they are taking home. We know married women today now, and until too much Jesus. Like then they dance sko anyhow.
You are a married woman, so
I am. A lot of women are dancing coco below up and down today. Oh, so when it happens, you take the child and then you hand over to the husband. Of course, the husband will not doubt that this child doesn't belong to him because you are married. Along the line, something happens. Agame DNA test. You discover that 1, 2, or 3 of the children you think were yours were not yours. Wow. What is going on?
Okay, look at what Pat says. Some keys are exchanged. The in-laws came to confess sometime this year how she swapped babies. You see? So the thing is, it's true. They do those in Nigeria a lot. But, that's the whole essence of if you're having a baby, and if you're having a baby, know the hospital you go to, okay? And then let your husband be in the labor room. Overseas, that is mandatory for a man to be in the labor room, unless if the man does not have the heart and the wife excuses the man. But most women will not excuse you, so that you know the pain they go through to be appreciated after labor. You understand? So if the man is in the labor room and this kind of situation, the moment the child is brought out, all the connection with the father and the mother, they will strap the child with a magnetic tape. That tape has a chip, a magnet in it, that you can't take that child out of the maternity ward. If you do, it's going to beep for security. People don't really know that's why they wear those children.
In Obodo Yibo, you are talking about Obodo Yibo. We're talking about general hospital where some of these hospitals, they don't allow men, husbands, even into the maternity ward. They don't allow them in the labor room.
Absolutely.
You are talking about Obodo Yibo. This crime is high.
I have my siblings. They gave birth in Nigeria. Okay. At one point, one of my elder sister was in the labor room. So you can always have your own person there. You're paying the hospital to give birth in their hospital. You have some things to say, yes, I want my sister there. I want my auntie there. If you guys are so suspicious of the hospital, you understand, whereby the child is not even swapped, but the woman did a wantilo. Okay? You know, if the woman is into a wantilo, you understand, she's not going to accept DNA, just the way you said it. Of course, it's going to, are you suspecting me? That would be the first reaction. Why do you want to do it? And all. And sincerely speaking, if a man calling for a DNA test simply means there is a breach of trust somewhere.
But this one now, with the rumor going around now, men are becoming, even without suspecting their wives, they are becoming scared, not knowing if you trust the woman, but you are not so sure. Okay, it may either be that the woman played a wantiro before the marriage, especially in the pregnant before marriage, like, you know, the pregnancy happens before the marriage. In most cases, this is where last communion with boyfriend, bam, then you're already planning wedding. I have seen cases like that. Just on the night of the wedding, I mean, the bachelorette party, that was when she had that final, they call it a parting gift with a boyfriend. Parting gift. And the parting gift resulted to pregnancy.
They give them parting gift.
Yes, it resulted to pregnancy, and then of course she's getting married the second day. Boom, Afima Banyego. So they don't know who owns the pregnancy between the boyfriend and the husband. And then apart from that, with the rumor of switching, especially in government hospitals, guys are becoming scared. Even when you trust your wife, you begin to wonder, okay, the day she went to give birth, there was nobody in there. My auntie was not there, my mother was not there.
So see what Patty Yaba is saying. Patty lives in Nigeria. Like I said, you have the right to decide who follows you to the labor room. So Pat
welcome.
Pat said, my first baby, my husband, and my elder sister, they followed me into the labor room. My second baby, my husband, sister, and brother-in-law were there live. So there is no excuse for anybody to say, no, carry my child. They swap my baby boy.
There is every excuse, Wanyoma. It's not everyone that has people that will come and stay with them.
People should wake up. That's what we are saying. The whole essence of this is that people should wake up. They shouldn't be relying on everything the midwife and the nurse is telling them. You have the right to decide. Tell them, see, I want so person in the labor room. I want to have this person present in the labor room. You can't be paying for services and then they will dictate to you how that service is rendered to you. No. You're the customer. You should dictate the pace. If my mother if I live in the city, my mother in the village, I have a sister in the church or a friend, a very good friend that can follow me to the labor room. Let's assume my husband is a traveler. He drives at night. He's not there when the labor starts. I have a neighbor that I can call. Biko neighbor, follow me to the labor room. We should be closing these gaps. Some of these gaps, we should be closing them. Because that is way to arrest the situation, because the government is not there to help you. The hospital is not there to help you. So human beings should arrest the situation. But
you know, a lot of women are capitalizing on this swapping. They are capitalizing on this swapping now because we know this business is going on, especially with cryptic pregnancy. I'm going to be discussing that next week, cryptic pregnancy, especially with this fake cryptic pregnancy. So a lot of women are now capitalizing on the baby was swapped. I never cheated. But now, how do you now know who cheated and who didn't cheat? Whose baby was swapped and whose baby wasn't swapped?
See, this story you told today, there is a lady, met this man coming from the US for marriage. So the next thing, he called the man on the phone that she called the man that I'm pregnant. The man said, okay, there is no problem. Let's hurry up and do the rites. So
Welcome,
they
madam.
married this woman. I mean to say, married this woman when it was time for the man to bring the wife and the so-called baby. You must do American embassy. You must do a DNA test. It happens that the baby was not for the man. And the man went ahead and married this woman and brought them here. 20 years, fast forward to 20 years today, they are headed to the court. That marriage never worked from the day one, but the man wanted to be married. You get what I'm saying? The woman has never been there for that man. But the man was like, I don't know if I would say he has a complex, because he told himself that he was going to look for an ugly woman so that men will not look at the woman. You married an ugly woman. They did not reduce bride price. You still paid full bride price for the ugly woman. And the woman that is not faithful to you, if the woman was cheating before you came to marry, of course, if she comes here, she will continue her thing. So people should be able to read the signs and know when to pull out. Don't just say because of a child, I want to die there. This thing called marriage, it can be tiring if there is no genuine love. I'm being honest. When time you see the person one day, every day, 2 10 years, 5 years, if there is genuine love, that's when that love continues to renew itself. But if it's a fake love, it's tiring.
Now, there's a lady that recently has also, welcome Chieke TV. Thank you, Time Out. Welcome, Anna Agbai. Welcome, Cynthia. Thank you so much. Everyone in the chat, thank you. I appreciate you. She exposed her girlfriend. Now, the Imagonu young girls, now you know, besties. Okay, they have their clique. Okay, and when this girl got pregnant, they knew who the father was because the girl told them. You know, friends now, when you are, there's a level of trust you have, you know, with someone, and you open up. But there's this other guy that she was preparing to get married to. So when she got pregnant, this guy has not touched her. It was still very early, and that's another thing, men. This is awareness. So 8 months, the thing just came very early. After complete 9 months to be found, that is complete 9 months. In some cases, it is complete 9 months. They tell you the baby is coming earlier than. So she told her friends, and they all agreed that okay, the guy, this other husband, will be responsible. So they got married. Years down the line, one of the friends looked like they fell out. You know, friends now, looks like they fell out, had misunderstanding. So she decided it's time to blow the whistle on her friend as a payback, like they had a clash. She had to open up to the man that this child is not yours. The guy didn't believe it. Like, you guys have been friends. This is 5 years down the line, and you're telling me that my daughter is not mine. She said, go and do DNA if you doubt me. We were friends. Yes, we all agreed to keep it away from you. The guy did DNA. Bagam, truth. The marriage has broken. The friend is calling her a home wrecker and a snitch.
Yeah, she's a snitch, if I'll put it that way. She is.
She's a snitch. But of course, you know, when people are fighting, you look for what will hurt the other person the most, and you do it without thinking twice. You get. Now, a lot of men are beginning to suspect their wives, even when they are innocent. But like, it's difficult. Okay, look at what somebody wrote. He said, my baby daddy got promoted, so I appealed for more child support. He ordered a DNA test. This is a woman saying, he ordered for a DNA test, and my son failed. My son failed. He put the result in my mailbox. I forgave myself for cheating, but he's been petty. He's been my son's daddy for 8 years. Why is he ghosting the child now? How do we fix this? Like, the audacity, the guts of this woman. Your child failed the paternity test, and you are saying he's been the daddy. So what? I mean, you've been fathering the child. Why don't you go on and father the child?
That's
hey, be the carer with care is welcome.
I get that story is coming from my part of the world, right?
Yes, from America.
Yeah.
Sometimes
their confidence in their stupidity is 1001. You know, when you are stupid and you're very confident in that dumbness, is 1001. That's the only reason why a woman should react that way. And adding to the story you shared, I know of a man, you know, they came here to study. And then the family said that these young boys, we better marry wise for them, you know, that kind of a thing. So they quickly married this woman. Did it? No, they didn't do marry. They just betrothed the lady that this is somebody you will marry when you return, kind of. So they now went overseas.
Welcome, check Peculiar Dixie. Thank you so much. Go on, ma. Go on.
So the guy, I think during the semesters, he went back home. Of course, my intending, Hasuchara the thing or something. Then the guy went back home. The guy went back home in January. Then by March, the woman came with big belly, telling the family that she's pregnant. They were like, you're pregnant.
How?
You know, within 3 months, the belly is already showing. So they now said, okay, no problem. That's good. The family welcomed. They now called the guy. The guy said, how? Pregnant? How? You know, he was still thinking, is this possible? Is it not possible? Then, according to the family, the woman came back again and told them that she was no longer pregnant. So they now said, okay, fine. After a few months, then by September, she came back again that she's pregnant. So the family,
is it disappearing and reappearing?
Yes. They got confused what was going on. Then fast forward it now, by this was it September? Yeah. By September. It wasn't September. No, it wasn't September. I think the woman gave birth in December. Either December 14th or the mid of December. Gave birth mid of December. So they now called their son that lady that is betrothed to you has given. But the guy said no, that you can't be pregnant for 12 months. That is not his. The family said no, that we need to go and do something and bring the child. You know, the guy said no, that the child gestation is 9 months. It's not 12 months. It was an argument for the family. Fast forward, you know, when we say that our Nigerian community or society is so religious, we don't mix words. Then religiosity came into the family. That how can we do that? Let's go. The guy said, I've told this lady even that I can't marry him. I can't marry her because the guy don't see Oyibo Pikin where they follow him up and down. And no one do again. Now you're coming to tell me that you're pregnant for 12 months. That it doesn't happen. I met this lady in December, and now she's pregnant. And I left Nigeria on the 2nd of January. Now she's pregnant. She gave birth December 14 or second week in December.
That's 12 calendar months.
Why? Do you know this family went and brought that child against this boy's wish? They brought the child home against the boy's wish. So the boy was now forced to accept the child by force or by fire. So apparently from discussion, what people understood that the time she was switching in and out, I was pregnant, I wasn't pregnant. She was thinking her boyfriend would take responsibility.
Okay.
So when the boyfriend ghosted, she now remembered there is still somebody that came from a decent family. I know this will not deceive me.
Okay. Welcome, Black Money. BMC work. Oh, she was contemplating, like trying to play with anyone that walks out.
That was why she was only have a pregnancy for 12 months. So no, the thing is that we women, we can be evil sometimes. We can be evil.
You heard my introduction. I say, does this say only a woman knows who is the true father of the child she's had or the pregnancy she's carrying? Only a woman knows. Not even you, the man that was pounding her at night. You don't know.
You don't.
You don't know.
So when you look at it that way, you realize that women are evil, because all these things we are saying, look at the topic we discussed. A man woke up one.
Okay, I think she went off. Okay,
yeah.
Now look at. Okay, you're back.
Yeah. So
is it a
the one we
network?
discussed today. No, I was having a phone call. I was using my phone. The one we discussed today. A man woke up 20 years after to discover that the 5 children are not his through DNA. Who will
is it not the man that was sent? Is it not the man that was sentenced to jail?
No.
Okay, because there's another story of a man. A man was sentenced to 5 years in jail for not paying child support. Okay, no, this one is for not paying child support after divorce. 20 years later, paternity test reveals that the child is not his biological child. Meanwhile, the woman was still having an affair with the biological father of the child while the man was in jail.
You see? So that's what I'm saying. Women, we can be evil. Because when it comes to DNA and it comes to children, is that woman that is the culprit here. She's the one that is liable for anything you can say. A man might think, after all, I pounded last night and she's pregnant, is my child. Yeah. Not knowing it's not your child. So why would we be this mean and wicked and heartless? Why should a woman behave that way?
And you know, abroad, we know a lot of women do it for child support. You know, especially when if they're not married to the guy, they just pin the child so that they can be getting child support from the man. Okay, back home, married women do it because some of them, Mel Fierce Fitness said something when we were chatting before. She said, what if the man knows sabi do, or what if the man is impotent? Now, this is another thing. Some women, after some years of marriage and nothing is happening, and maybe they know themselves, decide to say, okay, it's been happening, and boom, it enters. Once it gets in, do you think the married woman will go and flush? She won't. No. She will pin it on the husband, and they will go and do, mama, mama, hey, God has done it for us. Come and see. What a lot. We waited after 10 years, after 5 years, and God did it. Mahona Bobo, one Bobo owns the child. And the man will do a very big dedication. So back home, married women pin it because of shame, and of course, some of them because they know the man cannot. And you know, back home, a lot of married men have got the problem. They know they have problems, but they will never open up. So that the world will keep looking at the woman, which is where we are coming from back home. It's, you hardly hear that a man when you went so, it is always the woman that has the problem. So it is better the chain is on the woman's neck than on the man. So once a woman finds out, like a case of a woman that found out the husband's hospital test, a sperm test, and discovered that the man, everything is gone, everything is dead. Wow. She found that and she kept quiet. What she did was, since the man knew and he's been hiding it from her, and they've been having issues, praying and doing all sorts, but he will never go to the hospital back home. She got someone who was giving it to her. The man, he knows that this pregnancy, this child, this woman is bringing is not his own. But how would the man come out now to tell the wife, I am impotent, I am not the one that got you pregnant? Come out and speak. The woman will expose him under the sun. So the man kept his cool and was swallowing the saliva and taking care of the children, knowing fully well that they are not his. But of course, he can't say. It was later the whole thing blew out. It was later. So sometimes some men know. Cornelius, you keep saying some men are suffering at the hands of this justice. When you people do your own, you don't think twice. You don't think twice.
See, host. I know of a lady. She was married at 16. I've shared her story several times. She was married at 16. Her husband was everything, the first, the this, the that. And the husband was young too. Maybe at the time, maybe he was 21. He was the
Mm,
only son, and the only child, actually, not only son, the only
mm,
child of the mother. So they lived for over 10 years, no child. Then the girl's mother, these Agaracha women, was like, nothing is wrong with my daughter, or blah, blah. But I was even saying it without minding who hears. You understand? That I've told my daughter it's either she walks out of that marriage or and then get married to someone else, because she, as of
mm.
the 10 years after, she would have been 26, right? 26, her
Yeah.
mates are still young and getting married. So the mother of the girl was worried. The girl now told the mother that, look, I've told I was there, I was present when she was talking. She said, I've told my mom to leave me alone. You understand? That we'll figure it out, me and my husband. Then 3 years down the line, that making it their 13th year or thereabout, she had a baby. And then by the time I met her again, was her fourth one. She said she was going to have everything, all her ovaries, that she's going to empty it. So what they did, according to the mother, was that they told the daughter, the woman told the daughter with her friends, saying she doesn't want to come out of the marriage.
Oh.
And that's what they
Ooh.
did.
And that is what they did. And she,
Yeah.
is the husband aware of what
We want to believe the
happened?
man is aware because they've gone to hospital. The man knows his capability that he can't. You get what I'm saying? The man, I believe, knows that he can't father a child. So
Hi.
he's aware. And they are so happy together, living happily ever after.
That means the man is aware. He's in the picture. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Six
Just like what
children.
someone shared here. Somebody shared, they said, my friend just found out that his 7-year-old isn't his biological son. He has been threatening to leave the marriage, and his parents have been begging him to stay. They told him that this may be God's plan, as he is not even their own biological son. So, to revelation in 1 week, the boy is not. And now the same thing has happened. So they are asking, just take it. It's the same thing that happened in your own case.
Did they adopt? Their own case, was he an adopted child?
It was not an adoption.
Oh.
It was not an adoption. The same way.
Wow. All I will say in this situation, host, all I will say here before I step down is that women should stop it. Women, whoever that is listening to our voices, the responsibility of this one is absolutely on the women. If you think your husband cannot be able to get you pregnant, and you know medically that he has a problem, and he's not agreeing that you should go outside and get babies, you understand? Then walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away. You don't have to remain in that marriage. But if the two of you have the agreement to find another person to donate the sperm while you carry the pregnancy, that is fine. But this fraud they are doing with children on their partners should stop. I know what we are saying is not going to make any much difference, but at least we are creating awareness. We are speaking It's only a woman that knows who got her pregnant. And some of these days, they don't even know if they are swinging both ways. They don't even know which one entered. That's just it.
They don't even know. There's something I would like to ask you before you leave. Welcome, Esther's World. Welcome, Glorious Reality, Just Artistic. Welcome. Thank you so much, Esther's World and everyone. Now, there's something I want to ask you, Yo-Yo. You are conversant with the law. Now, what is the place of the law when a woman is caught in paternity fraud? Back there, because back home, I don't really know. I've not heard much of justice being said, other than go with the children, go with go with them, you know.
No,
but over there, what is the place of the law?
the laws are similar in the sense that it's the best interest of the child that the court is looking out for. Okay. For in the case of the US, if they find out that you're not the father, and then you have to find the father of that child. Okay. If the father of the child accepts responsibility, there might not be relationship between the woman, the wife, the mother, and the father. You understand? But that father, the newfound father through DNA, will now take the responsibility of paying for what? Child support, because the child is tied to him. Most of these guys are not even interested in being in the baby's life.
Most of them don't even know that they have a child somewhere. That's the most painful part. A lot of men don't even know they father the child somewhere who is pinned to another man.
Correct. So
sorry, 1 second. Guys, please, we jump on the link. Have men in the chat. Jump on the link, share your opinion. What do you guys think? Like, is this something you are going to do when you have your child or when you get married in the future? You know, because you're also going to look if the marriage is ever going to be the same after a man decides to conduct a paternity test and discovers that, okay, they're my children. But do you think the woman will ever be like, okay, don't you think there's been a breach of trust here? Like, okay, you're doubting me. You don't trust me, you know, don't trust these children are mine.
Yeah, for the woman that raises that question, is it that you're doubting me, that's why you're calling for a DNA? She should be able to first of all know there is a crack in the relationship for the man to request for a DNA. You know, sometimes we ignore the foundation of the problem and we jump into the consequences, realizing that, okay, maybe there is a breach of trust. Maybe he caught me in a hotel or he saw me an email or maybe a chat, me doing love up online with another man that raises his suspicion about the children. Understanding that foundation of the problem should be tackled from the root will help them. Not being a defensive. Are you not saying that? You now say no. Defense in this situation cannot help when there is a problem, underlying problem. So if the woman recognizes the underlying problem that resulted to the question, I want a DNA, they can be able to have communication over it. But whereby she gets so defensive, I will advise the man to go ahead and do the DNA. That's just it. It's not based on the trust. The trust is already broken before the request for DNA happens. And then in our Igbo, go ahead.
Host. Okay, go on.
In our Igbo culture, you understand, once a woman is married fully, bride price paid, dowry, and all of that, traditionally married fully, any child begotten from that union is taken to be the man's own, whether they're biologically or they are not biologically. It becomes the man's children. Okay, I'm gonna give an example. There is a woman in my community in the village. She gave birth to 11 children. So she realized they were dying. In those days, there were no cure for sickle cell. They didn't know how to manage it. So the children were dying. One day she woke up and said, that she has buried 6 children already, that she's tired of burying children. She went with another man from the community, you understand, and got pregnant. And today she has 2 living children because they came from another person's offspring, you understand, not her husband. And it's because she's a stickler, her husband is a stickler. So whatever they are producing are not staying. And those children are the husband's children till today.
Yes.
Even when they made joke of them in the beer parlor in the village, drunk. There is a man that is always drunk in the village. Say this one this is his father. Everybody, people know, but you can't come and claim that child because he was gotten the marriage. That is the Igbo tradition. But the thing is,
so long as it's within the confine of marriage, traditional marriage, if it's traditional marriage, that child belongs unless the man is rejecting the children.
Yes, unless the man doesn't want it, that's it.
Unless he's rejecting the children. Thunder Scorpion, not in
the way. Yeah, don't mind Thunder Scorpion. Who taught him Igbo?
He's learning Igbo seriously. Kedu kaide. One day American, one day.
So host, you see, because that is our culture, we can understand it that way. But are there going to be consequences definitely. Are the children going to be affected? Definitely. But it all depends on how it's handled. Then we were talking about legally. The law, like I
Yes.
said, is similar. You understand? But what most of them do here, they can acknowledge through DNA that now I don't have any other thing than to say yes. I accept my responsibility. I start paying child support, which is the reason why they were asking for DNA in the first place. Not because of anything, but because they need somebody to financially contribute. But back home, they are asking for the best interest of the child. What are they looking at? First of all, they will look at the culture, the custom. Remember, our custom is recognized in the courts in Nigeria. That's
Yes,
our
customary court of law. Yeah.
Yeah, it's recognized, and the court will still honor our custom. So if he happened to be an Igbo man, the court will first of all refer them to go settle it in the family or go through the customary law to settle it and all of that. Whereby they fail, and if the man is interested in claiming those children, then that's where the court will now come to find a way to, like, okay. But if the strange man comes to claim the children, that's where the casala will burst back home.
Oh, yeah, no. Because there's complication here. If the strange man suddenly surface, because this is what happens in some cases, the man will, maybe the man has been married and or something happened, and then when he now said that he has a child, do you think he will keep quiet? No, he will come fight for that child.
Yeah, it happens.
He will come fight for the child.
It happened. There is this man I know. He married. They got married when I was in my, I think when I was about to go to law school or something. The marriage has been for a very long time, if I'll put it that way. So they did not have any child. When I mean they did not have it, you know what this guy started doing? Started searching for one girl in the high school, in secondary school, that they said he got pregnant. But he couldn't find the girl, couldn't find the mother, no trace anymore to find anything. So he got somebody pregnant, maybe when he was 18 or 17 or something like that.
Suddenly he remembered he got somebody pregnant. Can you see how selfish and self-centered? In fact, I don't even know. I don't want to use
my question was, assuming he found the woman, of course the daughter would have been married, you understand, if he happens to be a girl, and the man would have been married because he should be in his late 50s, right? So this must have happened maybe when he was over
30-something years ago.
Yes. So what will he say to that? I really wished they found the woman, but they did not. So because he did not have his own child, he went back looking. So for
now remember, he abandoned somebody some years ago. Denied you know the worst part, some of them denied this pregnancy. Yes, and which is what made some women, some young ladies, pin it on another person.
Yes. Look at the scenario I just told you. The one that will come and tell the family I was pregnant. I'm no longer pregnant. I'm pregnant because she was testing waters to see who was going to accept the pregnancy.
Yeah.
You understand? Until the other one gave her a bullshit. So I now went to the one that, okay, the family will always welcome. You understand?
Yeah, so and of course they welcomed.
They welcome. Everything still boils down to what? Women. This is the crime of a woman. It's not a crime of a man this time. I want to say
it's becoming rampant. It's becoming rampant. Do you know that, Oyoyo, if it were possible for a man to carry this, oh, my gender would have been finished. If it were to be the other way around, they'll be bringing it like granuts to the house.
I tell you,
I wouldn't say thank God because
honestly,
it's not funny.
I'm so happy you're speaking on this because we need to talk about it. We need to talk to our gender. You understand? If you're in a marriage and your husband, medically he cannot perform, sit him down, look for solution. Solution number one, IVF is too expensive, and middle class people can't even afford it. Talk more of the low middle class. Then surrogacy is too expensive. What is the next option? In the olden days, They will go and hazela one more.
There is provision. There is provision. You see why I love my culture? There is always provision both for the man and for the woman. You see why I love it? There's always provision. It's just that this other gender, they are too jealous. They will not allow the woman to go and try out. You get, or unless it's some critical case.
So will not allow the woman to go and try that. But some that know they have personal problem will sit back with their wives. They will bring a man that is capable, a man that is healthy, a man that the IQ is reasonable. Come and be pumping this thing. Let me protect my dignity as a Ichie, so that people will not know.
Honor. And they do this thing back in those days. It's not as if they don't. This thing, Thunder Scorpion, yes, please visit her. And Thunder, please click on the link. You are a man, you are in America. You people are facing this paternity test fraud more. Can you just click on the link and jump on this, okay? Dominant man, welcome. We have men in the house. This is, see, I am speaking for you guys today. If you don't jump on the link and come and give your own opinion, I will just be on the side of my gender. And so
you're not supporting any. No. There is no gender support. This is a woman's crime.
Okay. It's a woman's crime. We agree. I will, you know, I'll be on that. I will be the advocate.
Yeah,
on
advocate. That's what you're going to do.
I don't support bad things.
Let me throw another one to you. When I came to this country newly, I started watching what they call the Maury Show. And Thunder Scorpion can attest to that. Maury Show. There was this lady, she said she went to a nightclub, one night stand. She got pregnant. She had twins. Then DNA, she couldn't recognize or remember the man that she had the one night stand with. So they sampled 5 men. None was the father. Then they kept sampling until they got one guy. That means everybody around her in the club, they all had a turn or whatever. I don't know how she couldn't remember who got into her. Then eventually they brought one man that matched one baby. So that means she had 2 men that day that got her. 2 men. So you see why I call
it happens. It happens
all the time. All the time. If you watch Maury's show, this is not you're the father. You're not the father. That's all he does. DNA, all true. That's what the show is all about. So if you
once you mention DNA back home, our women, we African women, we are number 1 to fidget. If you mention DNA, all hell be let loose. But Nigeria is ranking number 2 when it comes to paternity fraud.
You see? You know why? You already know why they are doing that. Women are doing. When your hands are not clean, they say he who comes to equity must come with clean palms. If your hands are not clean, will you accept DNA test? You won't.
When dry bones are mentioned, old women get angry. Of course, because then you know. So why the question is this? I still can't understand how a woman will know that this child is not my husband's own, and then you sleep and wake up with the man every blessed day. You look him into the eyes and you say you love him. You love him. You look him everything.
Host, I can understand if he was the first baby. What happened to this woman that has 5 children? None belong to the man. 5.
You see, in that case, Oyoyo, I have a feeling in that case you mentioned, this man in question, if 5 of the children were not his, one thing is sure, he is impotent.
Bam.
1, he may be, he knows about it. Because if he knows he's impotent and the wife is getting pregnant and, eventually have 5 children, he knows that I am not the one firing this shot. It just happened that I fire, but another person, guns down the animal. Okay, just like there's a scenario, you open your umbrella. A man went hunting, and while he was hunting, He went with umbrella. He didn't recognize that it was an umbrella he was holding. He thought he was holding his dang gun, okay? And then when he sighted an animal, he tried to shoot, and then he opened his umbrella and the animal fell. Who shot the animal? Is it with the umbrella? He knows this. When he opened it, he saw it was an umbrella that opened, but an animal fell.
See, Mel said that men are not innocent. See, Mel, we are not saying that men are innocent. After all, they're the ones depositing whatever that forms the baby. But where I'm saying that this is a crime of a woman, if you are in a marriage, okay, and then you happen to step outside to get pregnant and come back and smile at your husband and went back on the same bed and be like, oh, honey, how are you today? How was your day? Knowing fully well that your body is already filthy. And then it comes to making a baby. And you realize that this baby, or you find very well the baby is not your husband. And you kept quiet. 9 months passed. 1 year, 2 years, 20 years in the marriage. You kept quiet for 20 good years. Tell me how that is not the crime of a woman. How would the man know?
It is a crime of infidelity, because whatever happens, so long as you have made that vow, you've taken the vow that you will not defile the marriage bed. Even if the man is impotent, there are ways to go about this. If the man eventually, like if he's a man like Cornelius, my husband, who is advocating for, we going back, you understand? And then, men like him, they can say, okay, let us decide, let us go the way of our religion, of our tradition, get the woman another young bobo that will come and try imago, and then if it works out, but instead of hiding it.
Dear Cornelius, I can't name because the man I called my husband will tell you if that's the only thing that is going to make it happen, it's not happening. Let's do surrogacy. That we are not gonna do that one. Nobody's touching my wife.
But in those days, in those days, there is nothing like surrogacy. And okay, there is surrogacy, but adoption is what Igbos don't do, but they do surrogacy. Surrogacy in the sense how they do it. A woman is just the same. A woman gets another woman to come sleep with her husband and carry the pregnancy for the husband. Or, go get pregnant outside and bring the child, home to this woman and her husband. So surrogacy has been going on in Africa, but adoption is one thing Igbos don't advise. They would rather go for surrogacy where one person, at least they say, let there be one side of the DNA, in the family. So it's something that couples should discuss instead of these lies.
When the Igbos give it names, surrogacy, they will think they started this. It has been back in memorial, done in Africa.
It's been done now.
In fact, there are many generations. It's been there in Africa. It's been there.
So for me, I don't think, guys, I am dropping the link. Come on, I need men to come and add their opinion. See, this thing is more on you guys. You people are running and keeping quiet and pretending you don't know what is happening. There is fire on the mountain. There is fire on the mountain, especially those abroad, even those back home. You understand? Like a woman said here. Oyoyo, let me read this out quickly. She said, the same. Okay, a guy said the same way you check his phone to know if the number is saved as an electrician, if the number he saved as an electrician is not Nkechi, Nkechi-shan, same way he needs to know if you played an away match. No one should feel hurt. Clear conscience fears no accusation. Don't accuse him of not trusting you. Trust is earned. It is earned.
It's very the person that wrote that thing, I guess he hasn't been in the shoes. That's why he can quickly write. It's very, in all sincerity, let me just take jokes apart. It's very, very painful when, especially when a woman is faithful in a relationship and then you come and throw up the question of DNA. Is
Yes.
damaging. You might get the result, but you can't get your wife back.
The
Okay?
trust has been broken.
Yeah, the trust is completely broken. So let's assume you carry the DNA test and it happens that the child is yours. Then you now start working on how to get your wife back. It will take you years to get that
Yes.
trust. There is this
Yeah.
thing I
And she
usually
may
say.
even begin to do it. She may even begin to do it, but you will not be, you will not have the guts to even question. You understand?
No, but
Like,
a decent woman, she will not, because of what you did, she will cause herself pain. If that doesn't give her satisfaction, she will not get into it. But the thing is that we should know, once trust is broken, we can amend that trust, you understand, with time, but it's never
it takes
completely
time.
healed. It's never gonna
Mm-mm.
be the same. So before you
Mm-mm.
tread that road, you understand, you have to completely tread with caution. If you think your wife is suspecting, you're suspecting your wife, you don't need to come out and tell your wife, I want to go for a DNA test. You can actually do that DNA in silence. And if you satisfy your curiosity,
Secretly.
yeah, it will die with you. Your wife will not know you were suspecting her. How is DNA done? You can take the comb of your child and carry a DNA
Yeah.
test if you're not an away match husband that lives in a different place. So, but whereby it's obvious that the woman is cheating and you want to, of course, you don't have much to say if you have caught her in a hotel with another man, or if you've gone
But
through
how
her
do you
phone.
even know a cheating wife? How do you even know a cheating wife? Because the truth is, some of these same cheating wife you're talking about, Mbahe Buru Bible, going to church, that is when they branch. They even cheat with the men of God. With that man of God, you the man, you are going to bow down to daddy. Daddy, bless you, sir. Bless you, daddy. She may be cheating with that same daddy. So how do you know? Even without suspecting, you
Okay,
can, maybe it's just a conversation between friends, just like we're talking now. A man may be here contemplating, so this thing is happening. What if? What if not? What if? And then he decides to, not because he's been suspecting the wife, but anaha chama. You never can
yeah,
tell.
you ask a good question here, host. Just like we women, how do we know a cheating husband? It's the same thing. It's the same parapasol. How do we find out a cheating husband? Why do women always go to their husband's phone? Let's assuming that I am. Let me use myself as an example. I married to my husband. When we newly married, my phone is always open. He has us no lock, no password, nothing. Then 5 years down the line, I started locking my phone. If he's coming to my computer when I'm doing something, I will shut down my email. Of course, you're creating something, you're putting something into that person's consciousness. There is something going on that you don't want me to know. So that's another way to start suspecting somebody. So that inquisitive nature of a man that is in a human being, when I mean a man, human being, will
Yeah,
push that
human
man to
being.
want to know. I really want to know what is going on in her phone. I want to know what is in that email. And some people will go to the extra mile, especially when you marry a woman from the back home and bring her overseas. The phone, everything record is on your name. Some will go to the point of getting to the phone company to give the everything transaction or whatever transmission that happened on the phone. Some can go to that extent to find out. So it all depends. If you are a woman hearing us, the DNA thing is a woman's crime. Why do I completely say it's a woman's crime? Because it's only a woman that can say who got her pregnant or who did not
Yes.
get pregnant. A man cannot say that. So why
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you're in a relationship and you feel this man is not giving it to me the way I want, from the beginning of the relationship, you already know he's not giving it. Don't expect it to be better in 5 years. Don't expect
If you
him to
don't
be better
discuss it,
in 10
if you
years.
don't discuss it from that day one, even
Yeah,
before the marriage, have an open conversation. There's no need to be shy or be ashamed of discussing things like this, because eventually it is the same things like this that is resulting to these DNA issues. Thunder Scorpion said DNA test should be made mandatory upon bed, and I advocate for that. Oyoyo, what do you think?
I really don't think it's necessary unless if there is suspicion.
I think it should be made mandatory. It should, to save both the man and the woman of this heartache. Because if, for instance, the child is swapped in the hospital and DNA is conducted, at least when they begin early, they can, know, okay, this child is not mine. Then if you want to part ways, you part ways in peace. If they want to look for the father of the child, because back when we don't have a proper documentation.
Yeah.
You understand? So it is difficult. But at least early enough, you save yourself. Okay, just like a man that was waiting. This DNA thing has been raining, of course, abroad. The man was waiting for the children to graduate from high school before he would conduct DNA. Unfortunately for him, by the time he waited, they graduated, when the children were not his. So is it not better to start early?
You have a point. There is good to start. It depends on the circumstance, like I said, whereby you're not sure of what is going on. It should be, you understand? But whereby you're sure of what is going on, there is no need for that. I know of a couple, you understand? Before she got married, she had all the necessary conversation, you understand? Asked about, we're talking about DNA. There are other things. Asked about DNA, sickle cell. She even presented. The guy said, yes, I'm fine, I'm perfect, and all of that. When they had a baby, of course, they didn't go to hospital to check sickle cell or whatever, all of those things.
Yeah.
He just believed what the husband said. Their first child, they went to the hospital. Then the doctor was like, I hope you have to educate your daughter when she gets to a certain age not to marry somebody that has AS. The woman was like, excuse me, we're AS? How did that happen? That my husband said he's AA, I'm AA.
Huh.
You get
what?
Welcome, member. We have a new member, Constance.
Hey, Constance, new member. Thank you. Welcome. I love you. Welcome. Thank you so much, Constance, for joining my membership. Thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. This is where to be, and I do not take your membership for granted at all. I know you love what I'm doing here. That is why you clicked on that. Yeah, we have more members, and we're wearing green. Can you guys see it? This is for you, Constance.
Yes.
This green today is for you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, guys, welcome into my membership. Well, and all of you watching, please 1 second though. All of you watching, what are you waiting for? You don't want to support this girl here? You don't want to support this girl? Kindly join my membership and help my ministry. If you will not join, super chatty. If you're not super chat, click the thanks. Do super sticker. Anything at all is welcome. Make this baby girl happy, Jared. Thank you, by the way. Welcome, Constance. Oh, yeah, you go on, Biko.
So, what was I even talking about before?
Yeah, we're talking about this, the sickle cell story.
Okay, what will happen to that? The woman was surprised by the doctor. When they ran all the necessary tests on the daughter, it happens that she's an AS. And the man had told her that he is an AA.
Why?
There is no way that produce AS. So she said she got back home because she was already angry. And she didn't even wait until she got home. She started calling the man on the phone that, wait, I just finished with the doctor and they said my daughter is AS. What is going on here? The doctor,
why?
And the man still did not accept that he's AS.
Why?
What is the doctor?
Why?
So is it that the man himself did not even know which blood, whatever type or whatever he belonged to? So the thing is that if you're getting into they had conversation. It's not that she did not ask all the questions. The only thing she did not do is to get medically verified results that this is the situation. That's the, but you tend to believe your partner.
But during marriage, they present, you do the test, isn't it? You go to the hospital together, you run the test. The hospital, in fact, most churches now, what they do is they send you to their own hospital.
See, all these criteria you're asking is actually most here in the US. Which marriage, which test? You meet each other, you get married the next day, marriage is done. I beg. Which tests are they
Without
doing?
all these tests,
which tests are they requesting me? How about those people that are married in Las Vegas? Las Vegas. A lot of people go to Las Vegas to have marriage.
I saw that wedding when I went to Las Vegas. I saw that Vegas marriage. Welcome, Mary Queen. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I saw that Vegas marriage when I went to Vegas. That was 4 years ago. I was like, just strangers. You just meet yourself after party. You know, at the club, the nightclubs and the casinos. You just finish all, and then you just the wedding gown, everything.
Displayed
them. Instant marriage.
Is a recognized marriage. Is recognized.
They have officiating what do they call them? Ministers there.
Yeah. So
I saw it and I witnessed it in Las Vegas there. I was like, is this thing real? Wedding, like strangers who came to Las Vegas to just have fun, and then they just meet themselves at the party, at the club, drunk. You know the funny thing? Most of them are not in their senses. They are drunk, and they just come there and they sign the dotted line. Marriage is done. You wake up and you discover that you are married to one woman you've never met in your whole life.
That's why they divorce the next day. Most of them will wake up and go straight to the divorce. I'm sorry, what? So they divorce the next day. So you see where I'm coming from. That is the situation of that woman. At this point, that daughter needs to be explained to when she gets older that you cannot marry a man that has an AS simply because the man concealed his part of that question. She asked all the necessary, she did everything. You're supposed to trust, right? Trust whatever.
And maybe he loved this woman so much, or he was just too afraid of losing her. You know, it's stupid
things.
Name inspired, welcome. Maybe he was just too afraid of losing her.
He's even lucky that the woman did not lie to him too. Assuming the woman is an AS too. And they now happen to get into it. And this child happens to be ASS. Don't you think by now they would have headed separate ways? So the thing is that when we ask the questions, while we are discussing all of this, there should also be some kind of medical, something to verify, to confirm whatever the partner is. Easier at the onset of a relationship or marriage. It's easier that when you get into the commitment, you now come and start, I want us to go and do tests. It shows there is no trust from the beginning. But for Nigeria situation, sincerely, I think that DNA test should be included into it.
Compulsory. I think government should sponsor it because it's alarming, the rate. And we know we are very religious. Thunder Scorpion asked a question. Welcome, Nemi Inspired. He said, should trust be given at the start or should trust be earned? Do you just trust someone or should it be earned?
No, the point along the line. You are meeting a stranger for the first person. You met this person. You guys did not marry the next day you met the person, right? There's some form of courtship happened before you guys said, yes, I do. So in the period of the courtship, that's when you build trust. That's when you ask the question. That's when you get to know, is this the kind of person I want to spend the rest of my life with? Can I trust? And also the person's character and behavior is enough for you to know if you can trust this person or not. So within that courtship period, that's when that trust is earned. And if the trust is earned within 6 months, that is it. You understand? You don't trust a stranger you don't know. You can only trust somebody you know. So it's
guys take that risk. So some women take that risk, just you can meet a total stranger and then you take the risk. So I trust him. What made you trust him? What made you trust her?
He's joking with his life and his emotion, or rather her life and her emotion.
And because a lot of women have been deleted in hotel rooms because they met a total stranger and trusted the person enough to go meet the person in a hotel room.
Yeah.
You don't just trust people like that. I mean, what has the person done to deserve, to warrant that trust?
You know,
What
there is
has the
this
person
lady.
given?
Remember, a few years ago, her name was Cynthia, was a daughter of a Nigerian naval officer, top rank officer, that went to Lagos from Nasarawa to go and see the person she met on Facebook, and the guy ended up deleting her. Okay.
Yeah.
And then somebody might say, after all, they've been talking on Facebook. You're talking with what? Keyboard. You're talking with what?
With keyboard.
You don't know the person. Before you start trusting, you must have had some interaction. You must have known at least that person's family, that person's where his or her is coming from, somebody close to that person. You must have known that person. Like I said, trust before marriage is actually earned during courtship, and all of these form part of the relationship we are talking about. I don't believe that somebody will meet somebody today and end up being the person's wife. It's not done where we are from. We have all those things that we still follow. There is still courtship. There is still enquiries. They still do enquiries till tomorrow, whereby you find somebody, your own people, the girl's family will send somebody to the man's village.
I treated Idwase a couple of months ago, and some people don't take this Idwase. They don't take it serious. They don't know the danger. People get married to their own blood.
Yeah.
I will share a story briefly. Welcome, Zubechi. Welcome, Amaya girls. Thank you. Now, I want to read out something. A married woman posted, she was caught, okay, on this paternity fraud. She was caught, quite all right. The husband discovered, they found out that the child doesn't belong to the mom. Now, hear what this Nigerian, oh, Father have mercy. Hear what this woman said. She said, I never for once told him that I never for once told him I'm pregnant for him or that the baby belongs to him. He assumed this on his own because we were married. I think he's just too. I think he thinks too much, and he can't blame me for that. Like, you are married, and you are saying you never told your husband that the child, that the pregnancy belongs to him. He was the only one that assumed it. Neither did you mention that, oh, this child that we had is ours. So the man should not blame her, because if he had asked, is this child my own? She would have told him, no, the child doesn't belong to you. Yet they are married.
The woman is simply a wicked woman, okay? And I don't think they really have a good relationship working out for them. Maybe they were in an open relationship. The man is cheating, the woman is cheating, so whatever comes, fine. So that could be the kind of relationship they have working for them. And also, I don't know the tribe of that woman, because if I do, that might help defining some things. In some places, in some tribes in Nigeria, a man has no right to question if your wife is sleeping outside or not. So far, she takes care of you. And
thank you. You can't just ask your wife now, your wife is pregnant, and you say, oh, okay, sweetheart, I'm pregnant. Oh my God, congratulations. Whose child is it? Who owns the pregnancy? Is it mine? Oh, is it for a neighbor? Is it for the gatesman? Is it for the driver? No, I'm excited for you. I'm so happy. Whose child is it?
Oh,
that is what the man should have done.
Host, I'll be taking my leave now. My girl will be back from school in a few minutes.
Okay.
So
thank you so much, Manya.
Thank you guys for being amazing. I will be at the background, okay?
Okay, wait. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thunder Scorpion. Thunder said, Singer Neo found out the child wasn't his, but because of California law at that time, he still had to be financially responsible for the child. Yeah. The woman is super selfish and silly. Why should the husband ask? That is it. I don't understand. She had the mind that she came out on social media that the man never asked her who owns the child. If the man had asked, maybe she would have told him. But he never asked. He only assumed because they are married. So being married doesn't guarantee being pregnant for him. I mean, it's a different agreement. We are married, but then I can also decide who I get pregnant for. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand this anymore. Truth is, we cannot just keep excusing others. We can't. And the one that breaks my heart seriously is the fact that women are not capitalizing on baby swapping at the hospitals. And it's about time even the hospitals wake up to their responsibilities. Everybody that gives birth must be, I mean, every child must be protected with a tag. As soon as a child is born, you tag that child immediately. And men, it's even good that you enter the labor room. Enter the labor room. You are scared of blood. You don't want to see poops. You don't want to see others. You better go and see how she pushed out that baby. Because by the time you witness it with your two koro eyes, then you witness her push out the baby, there won't be any excuse tomorrow on who owns the baby or whether the baby was swapped. Paternity fraud is becoming rampant daily. It's becoming rampant, and enough is enough. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Why would Nigeria be ranking second in paternity fraud? Yet we are very religious people. Yet we are very religious women. Yet every woman is seen as decent. The moment they mention paternity, I mean, they mention DNA, bam. No, it shouldn't be done. If you know you don't have any skeleton, if you don't have any skeleton, why would you be afraid now? If you are sure you never slept with any other man since the day your husband got married to you, you have no reason to be afraid of DNA. When they mention it, in fact, you should be the one championing it. The moment the man mentions DNA, saying what I gather, how many, all of them, let us go, because you are sure of yourself. Okay, Zubechi, so no problem. I appreciate you. You understand? If you have nothing to hide, you have no fear, you know you are sure that this child belongs to your husband, you've never played away match, you will be the one to tell, after, is it your money they're going to use for the DNA? Mbano, he's not using your money. It is his own money. So just give him that consent. Something happened, I think last year I shared the story. I shared this story last year of a man whose father has been, telling that is the father-in-law of the woman, that is the father of the man, has been pushing him to go conduct DNA on his children because he doesn't like the daughter-in-law. He's just finding an avenue to break the hole. The father kept pressurizing his son, go and do DNA. These children, look at the nose of this one, it's not like your nose. Look at the eyes of this one, the eyes is not like your own. Look at the ear of this one, the ear doesn't resemble your own. Look at this one, the leg, the way he's walking, it's not walking like you. This one is a dog boy. He's not smart like you. The children are not yours. The father kept pressurizing the son until the guy secretly took the children and went for a DNA test. He secretly took these children, went and did DNA test, but unfortunately for him, the children, he did his own. Unfortunately, the children belongs to him, but they didn't match that of the father, because the father did his own also, match that of the grandfather, which means that even the boy that he is pushing, that he has been thinking is his son, is not even his son, yet he was suspecting another woman. It was there and then the man found out that this man is not even his biological son. His own wife has played the away match, and he never knew. He never knew. It matched the son, but it didn't match that of the grandfather, because he never liked the woman. So the trap caught him. And the sad part is that the wife is late. So how is he going to explain it? The woman is late. Would he hang it on the late woman's neck that she cheated? How is he going to do it? Unfortunately, the children belong to the man, but they never matched it because that boy is not his son. So we should be careful. This, for me, I am advocating for DNA. If it's possible for government to make it compulsory and free at birth, it should be done at birth so that there won't be question of trust. A woman will not wake up and say, no, you don't trust me. Because if it is made mandatory, just like every other test are done, if it's made mandatory and government have to pay for it, or even if it's going to be a part payment, like government take part of the bill, you pay the remaining small part, just so that you have your peace of mind, it will be good. So that you don't wake up and start panicking. From birth, you know the child you are raising. You know if you're raising the child of a criminal. You know if you're raising the child of, somebody that was taken advantage of. My Boko Haram, my headsman. You don't know whose child. It may be the child of your driver, your security guard, your neighbor, your friend. I am not saying you should start suspecting your wife, but all I'm advocating here for is that DNA should be made compulsory. It should be compulsory in every government hospital. If you now want to go give birth in a private hospital, you have to pay the bill there. You have to pay the bill. But in government hospitals, because of course it's subsidized, the government will take part of the bill. So DNA should be made compulsory, because this idea of women waking up and suddenly you are married, you now decide to have extramarital affair, knowing fully well that it is without protection. What are you expecting? When you sleep around without protection and you are married, in the first place, you are making double mistake. You are cheating. Then you are also doing that without protection. What kind of love? What did the man put into your head to make a married woman not even have that fear that, I may contract sexually transmitted infection, or I may get pregnant? What gave the woman the courage, the guts? Because she knows she's married and the husband will not question the pregnancy. No man questions the pregnancy of his wife. No man questions where a baby is coming from, so long as he's married. Unless he knows that he never touched the wife. Maybe he's been a husband that travels and stays away for months, knowing fully well that, within this period of time, I was not away. But so long as you're living with your wife, you cannot question the pregnancy. So the only way out to avoid all this issue is free DNA, or subsidized one, subsidized cost in government hospitals. It is the only way out. Because I can't defend my gender as it stands. I cannot defend my gender. Not even the tongue-speaking ones. I cannot defend my gender. Not even the spirikoko, I can't defend, because I don't know who is who. I can only speak for myself. I cannot come out and say, oh, I trust my friend, because I don't know. I'm not sleeping with my friend. Even if I'm sleeping with my friend, I don't follow my friend around. I cannot vouch for my own sister. I can only vouch for myself. And which is why it is better for every man to know the results, know the results from the hospital there. Even before you start signing, in fact, before you sign that paternity, this thing, what is it called? Can you have a birth certificate? Doris Clems, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Before you sign the birth certificate that they've given to you, request for a DNA if you have the money, for your peace of mind, so you don't wake up tomorrow morning. Yes, birth certificate. So you don't wake up tomorrow and start hearing stories that breaks the heart. Because it doesn't look like this paternity fraud is stopping anytime soon. It's not stopping anytime soon. The only thing that will reduce it is now when government stamps it and makes it compulsory for DNA. And we know that in diaspora, why women do this, of course, is for child support. You just go get pregnant for a random guy because you don't know if it is Chooks, if it's Peter, Paul, and James. You don't know who. Lose. And then, okay, timbon. Hey, which one? Who can pay child support? Who has the money? Who can do this? Who can take care of? Who has that father figure that I'm looking for? You now do timbon, and you pin it on Peter. Peter, I am pregnant. Peter, because Peter himself has been sleeping without protection. You are not married to her. You are sleeping without protection. And no, it has hooked you now. 20 years down the line, only for Peter to discover that child is not his. I mean, he has paid child support and the child is 18. Deprived himself of all the benefits. Maybe the job Peter is doing is a menial job, or Peter is just struggling and trying to survive. But of course, the child support is compulsory. He has to pay it, or on the Nanga, he'll be put behind. If he doesn't pay the child support, he will go to Nga, we call it Nga, behind. I don't want to use the P word. So Peter struggles all his life to pay child support for a child that is not his. Only for him to discover after 18 years, when he is done paying the child support, he now discovers that, this boy, this child is not mine. How do we sleep with this atrocity? And how do we stop it? How is it going to be stopped? A lot of men, a man recently deleted himself. That was just a couple of months ago. On hearing that the children he sponsored, they were all graduates only for him because they were planning to relocate abroad. I think they were planning to go to Canada. They were planning to relocate. And because these children have graduated, he decided that, okay, because they're living, they need to do compulsory DNA test. Only for this man, 4 children, to realize that, to discover that these children were not his. He deleted himself. He couldn't take it. He drank a substance, and I mean, you imagine the pain at his age, already in his late 50s or early 60s. At his age, after, he has spent all his savings, everything on these children. How did it happen? Does it mean that he was not firing? Was he impotent? What happened? How is the wife going to explain this? No, 4 children cannot be swapped. 4 children cannot be swapped. Let us tell ourselves the truth. 4 children cannot be swapped. And they are graduates. Now, it's not as if this man cannot bring himself to love those children. But the betrayal is enormous. It's too huge. It's too much for one person to bear. The betrayal is heartbreaking. It is too much for somebody to bear. Some have developed cardiac arrest and just left this world. Heartbroken. 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 When is this ever going to end? When would this stop? How do we put an end to this? If not, in the comment section, let me know, how do we put an end to this? Because women are summoning more and more courage, doing this thing without flinching. Without flinching, like they are not afraid anymore. So how What is the way forward? Because if your wife is innocent and you tell her, let us take our children for DNA, of course it's going to break the heart of your wife. She's going to feel. This is why it needs to be made open. We need to talk about this and make DNA look like the same way you check your genotype, you check your blood group. Let DNA be included among the necessary tests that should be carried out. The same way you go to the hospital, you want to know your blood group, you want to know your genotype. It is also good that you know the true status of your child, so that you will not just end up heartbroken, disappointed, and left empty-handed after training and loving. I mean, there is nothing wrong with loving another person's child. Okay, if you're adopting, you get to love the child, isn't it? There is nothing wrong, but it is heartbreaking knowing that you love this person thinking it's your own. It's a different thing entirely. Accepting that you want to adopt a child and you know this child is not yours, but you're adopting and you're loving the child, but not knowing who owns the child. You don't even know who the father is. It's gonna be a struggle. The mandatory DNA testing at birth, that may make people to think twice. Yes. And this is what I'm advocating for. The deceit is too much already. The wife has a lot of answering to do, but sadly, the man is dead. Yeah, because it's very possible the 4 kids can be from different fathers. That's the annoying part. It can also be from different fathers. I don't understand. For Christ's sake, why can't you marry and stay married? Why don't you get married and remain married? And if you don't want to get married, you have the option of a divorce. If you don't want to stay married, you have the right to live your life. Walk away. Why go out to go bring children from outside and pin it on an innocent man? Why? Heartbreaking stories day and night. Heart-wrenching stories day and night. Yet, when we go to church, we pray so much. Welcome, Cynthia. Okay, you are still here. Yes, when we go to church, we pray so much. We are very religious. We are very religious. Oh, you can't, it's hard to suspect anyone. But it's happening every day, every day, every blessed day. You go to the hospital, it is one man has just collapsed, or one man just fell and he's having cardiac arrest, or oh, a man just deleted himself. Different stories, different heartbreaking stories. If it's a man that is impotent, for instance, even if he doesn't know, he's not aware that he's impotent. I mean, 2 people can go to the hospital and run a test. Then find a way. If you cannot afford IVF, if you cannot afford surrogacy, you can try adoption. If you cannot adopt, let it be that the 2 of you have the consent of one person going out to bring in a child. It's been happening. It's been happening. And it will continue to happen. Some people, as it stands today, don't even know that the man they call their father is not their father. Yes. So sometimes, even before you begin to question your wife, I think you should also ask yourself, is my father my real father? That man, is he really my father? How am I even sure this man is my father? Let it even begin from there. Because things are happening. Things are happening. Things are happening. DNA should be made compulsory, mandatory, and government need to subsidize it, the cost of it, so that even the poor man The poor man who cannot even follow the wife to the hospital, maybe, can afford DNA. Because you know, just like my schoolmate sample that I cited, she doesn't even know who is responsible for her pregnancy. Some women don't even know who is responsible because they are busy sleeping with Peter and Paul. At the same time, trying to play smart. You're playing smart. When it hooks, how do you even sleep with two people at the same time? What if anything happens? What if you get infected and you don't know who infected you? What if? Just what if? At least the least you can do for yourself as a married woman, the simplest thing you can do for yourself as a married woman is to get a condom. Condom is cheap. 2 for 5 naira. Condom is very cheap. If you cannot close your leg, you cannot hold yourself because your husband traveled, because he's not around, at least go to condom, buy condom and go around. Go and do that awantiro with the condom. So that you don't have to lie to an innocent man that the children belong to him. Because you are married, of course, he will never question it. How is he going to question your pregnancy? No, he can't. So long as you are married, he cannot question your pregnancy. Thunder said, a man found out his child wasn't his, so disturbed, he took his life. This is the case. It's happening because they cannot take it. Their heart is so broken. You know, the shock alone, waking up to realize that 4 or 5 children, and then it's even too late for you to go get another wife and begin to impregnate her. Nemus, that is how cheap condom is. I mean, it's very cheap. Do you know that even here in Brazil, condoms are distributed freely? Like there's a big basket in every hospital where they put not outdated condom, not expired condom, good condoms, some with very fruity flavor, you know. In fact, if you open the condom, the fruity smell of this condom will make you want to use it. Some hospitals, the condoms are free there. They're in a big basket. They give it free. You can pack as many as you want. If you are getting pregnant in this town, you are getting pregnant deliberately. You are not getting pregnant because you can't afford a condom. Every hospital you enter, private and government, has baskets full of condom at every corner because they know that the women now both married and single. Everybody plays around. So, but they advise you, it is not just because of the pregnancy, for infection as well. Oh, vasectomy, the man already did. Now, that is even something we need to talk about. What about men who have decided to save their women, their wives, from the stress of protection? Like, what is it called? Implantation. That is in the comment section. I'm trying to look for the word. Oh, women who are trying not to who are preventing pregnancy. Anti-conception pills. Men who have gone for vasectomy because they don't want the woman to go through it because it has effect. So women begin to blow up. So women, the ones they do affect them, you know. So the men have decided on their own. It is easier to do vasectomy. At least with that, there is no story of the implantation failed. There is no story of, oh, I did it, but it failed. And then only for you to discover that the children you even had before going for the vasectomy are not yours. Where do you even start from? Where would the man start from? Waziemo, contraceptive, yes, thank you, man. Your man the word, and it was going away from my head. Nello side, thank you so much. Welcome. Thanks for the thumbs up as well. I appreciate you all. If you have had a vasectomy and if You have a vasectomy and she doesn't know. Then she comes talking about she's been pregnant. Caught. But you know it's not reversible. Isn't it, Thunder? Vasectomy is not reversible. It's irreversible. So if you have done it, and you are married, for instance, or you've had a baby that you've been paying child support over the years. You've been paying child support, and then you've done vasectomy so that there wouldn't be any mistake. You don't want to add to the child support you're paying. You go do it. You lock yourself up for life. Then discover that the child or the 2 or the 3 you've had are not even yours. How do you even tell me the man will be okay? Tell me this man will ever be all right. Nothing will be all right. This is why some men develop cardiac arrest instantly. You don't know why they develop cardiac arrest. It's the shock of knowing that my lineage is closed. I will never have a child again. And these ones are not mine. Oh, yeah, okay. The reserved abortion law in USA, men are doing vasectomy. Tell me what I didn't know. For real? Okay. Now they are forced to do vasectomy. Jeez. Wow. Okay, some are reversible. Okay. I don't really know. You guys know more. Pale Evans, welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for the thumbs up. Please give a thumbs up. Okay, I appreciate you. Okay, it's 50% reversible. Okay. But you see, after going through that, and then age is already telling on a man. A man is already in his late 50s. Just when he's retiring, in his early 60s, you've retired, and then you just want to go rest yourself and enjoy the fruit of your labor. Now discover that the 1 child or the 2 you ever had don't belong to you. And worse, maybe the baby that the true father shows up eventually. How would the man bear it? Women, if you are doing it, be calculating this thing. No, be calculating this thing. Be calculating it. Have a living conscience. Be calculating it. Ask yourself, if this is done to you, if something like this is done to you, how would you feel? Calculate this thing and ask yourself, is this fair? Even if the man has been wicked to you, the worst you can do is to pin another person's child on him. And you make him work himself out, working day and night, toiling day and night. School fees are not free. Raising a child is not free. Pampers alone, you buy Pampers for 6 months, you know how far. Not to talk about baby food. Especially the woman say, no, I'm not doing exclusive. No exclusive. Baby has to suck baby formula. Baby formula that you know is not cheap. Baby formula that is very expensive. And you know some of these children, the way they can eat, they will eat as if there is no tomorrow. You go through that after the stress. And I ask, what punishment? Now I'm still asking, okay, aside the fact that they will make the other person start paying child support that he never paid, what about the woman? What is the place of the law against a woman that commits paternity fraud? She will just walk free. Walk free. I think at this point, the woman should be put behind for a number of time, maybe for some months or even years. Daycare is expensive as well. Thunder said, I'm too old. I'd rather get a dog. You see? You see? Let's have a living conscience in whatever we do. Married or single, this is not just to married women, but to single ladies as well. Please get a condom. They have female condoms as well. If you will not buy the male condom for the man, please get a female condom and use it. Protect yourself against STI as well. It's not just for pregnancy. But today we are looking at pregnancy. No, not cheap. You have to start putting away money at bed to make sure they attend good colleges. Yes. Some don't think about the future of the child. As I can remember, it's not a crime for a woman to do something of such conduct. But this is the reason why they're getting away with it. If it's not a crime, until it is it is made a crime, there is penalty for every action. This will not stop. A lot of women will tell you that they don't like condoms. Okay, you don't like condom, then you should sleep with one man. If they don't like condom, maintain one guy, so that when the pregnancy comes, you know it belongs to Peter. It belongs to Thunder. You know this pregnancy belongs to you, without any doubt. But flirting around, jumping from one man to the other, you want to eat shawarma with this one, you want to go to the party with the other, you want to club with the other, you want Versace with this one, you want designers with the other one. Like you have a lot of sugar daddies and what do I call them? At the end of the day, pregnancies of, will just show up. Then you start thinking, who among them? No, this one is married. I can't pin it on him. No, okay, this guy, yeah, I think he can pay child support. And you cook it up. You come up with a story. Let's have a living conscience. That's what I'm saying. And there should be a penalty for it. Because it's sad that there is no penalty. People do this and get away with it. In as much as we are saying that DNA should be made compulsory in the hospitals, or in at least better still, let government need to subsidize it, the costs of DNA. Once government subsidize it, it will even enable at least the middle class and those who do not even have to be able to save up and afford it. Then, women, protect yourself. Like, I don't understand this. It needs to stop. That's all I'm saying. There should be a penalty. And the only way it can stop and put the fear of God in women is if there is penalty, so that when you are caught, you pay the price. For every crime, I believe there should be a price. There should be a consequence. There should be a consequence. There is nothing wrong being a divorcee. There is nothing wrong being married. Oh, there is nothing wrong with that. But there is everything wrong with infidelity. There is everything wrong with paternity fraud. Be that woman that will proudly walk away from her marriage and live her life, club, do whatever, sleep around with whichever man you want to do. But for Christ's sake, it is a crime. Paternity fraud is a crime, and it should be punishable by law. I don't think, because a lot of men have lost their lives. A lot have gone mental, like they've had serious mental breakdown that they don't even know where they are anymore. They've lost their minds. They've lost their minds. Some have lost everything. All to this. It's time to stop. It's time we raise our voice and condemn this act. If you're a woman, please don't condone this. The same way you'll be so unhappy to discover that your husband has a child outside while married. The same way it will break your heart that your husband comes home with one junior someday or one princess and say, sweetheart, I'm sorry, I cheated on you a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, and this is the result. This is the evidence of that cheating. The same way to crush your heart, that is how it is for a man. That is how it is. So if you know it's going to hurt you, if this is done to you, don't do it. No matter, even if you don't like the man, no matter how much you hate him, don't do this. It is so wrong. It is not nice. Please. Like some do in the US to collect government benefit. Yes. Government benefit. In fact, it's becoming the order of the day, because of course, if you have more children, the more children you have, the more benefit you get. The more children you have, the more benefit. So a woman can just decide to just be at home and collect benefits all her life because she's having children. Unfortunately, it can only happen in Western world. Back in Africa, nobody is giving you any benefit. If you have 10 children, or your OYO, or your, but abroad, you know, government is helping so that children will not suffer. And the women now rely on that benefit. They now rely on it. Relax and pop children. You see one woman having 5 baby daddies. 5 children, 5 baby daddies. I shared something like that on one of my videos. I took the video down where the woman, she has 4 children. And one of these children have different baby daddies. Different baby daddies. So one of the baby daddies brings food for his own child alone, for his own son alone. I shared this some time back, but I took it down due to copyright claim on that content because I showed it briefly on my live. The guy was bringing the food and things, money for the only child. And the woman was so pissed. No, you can't bring food for your child alone. If you're gonna bring food, you bring food for all the children. It doesn't matter if they are your children or not. And this guy is saying, I didn't father them. They ain't mine. Go look for their fathers. Look for the father of these children and let them be responsible. I am being responsible to my own child. And the woman repeats, she trashed the food. Yes, in that case, it becomes a crime. But when a wife only plays away match and brings home, is not punishable by the law. You see? It's just for the man to accept the baby. Yes, he will accept the baby. So long as he pays, that is where, in the culture where it is allowed, like in the Igbo culture, my own culture, for instance, the man doesn't have a choice than to accept the child. So long as he paid bride price, the child belongs to him. But in some cultures where it is not obtainable, what would the man do? It is his loss, and it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. Well, let's leave this at this. We will continue tomorrow. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Amazing people. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Nemuzo. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you are right. It should be though. Yeah. Thank you so much. Doris Clem, Oyoyo Sword, Thunder Scorpion, you've been so engaging today as well. And Mellow Side, thank you. Epale Evans, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for staying with me up to this very moment. Yeah, we'll call it a day tonight, or we'll call it a night right now. Cynthia, thank you. My newest member. Thank you so much, Constance. Thank you, Constance Space. Maya girls, thank you. I appreciate you. Nzubechi. Who else do we have here? Constance Space, my newest member. I have how many members here? Yeah, I can see the stars. Cornelius, Constance, Nemuza, and who else we have here? Okay, other members are not around today. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. God bless you for your time. Being a carer with cares, thank you so much. Mel Pierce Fitness, Just Artistic, thank you. Glorious Reality, Chieke TV, Esther's World, Black Money Cup, thank you so much, everyone. In case I miss out your name, thank you. Let's keep a date tomorrow, okay? Until I come your way again tomorrow with another interesting topic. Tomorrow is Friday, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, thank God it's Friday. I love Friday nights. I love Friday nights because I get to be naughty with my husband. Yeah, I love Friday nights. I love Fridays. I get to sleep. I get to be very lazy Friday. So let's meet tomorrow, Friday, same time on Love Night with Spice. Okay, good night, everyone. And I'll leave you with this music tonight.
Peace of mind.
Okay, what happened? So, what's my music not playing? Why's my music not playing? You're laughing at me. My music refused to play. Why? You see, this is how village people operate. Eh? No. This music doesn't want me to dance for you guys tonight, too. Eh? This music doesn't want me to dance. Nebuzo, this music doesn't want me to dance tonight. Okay. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. 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 Give me peace of mind. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Thank you so much. You give me peace of mind. Yes, I need you because I want you. You're the only one for me. I'm coming home after the party. The world is stressing me out. You because I know you got it. And you're my company. Anytime I call you, you can turn up. And you always come through for me. Peace of mind. You make me feel like your time. You give me peace of mind. Your body's in my direction. You give me peace of mind. Please give me peace of mind. Please give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind. Thank you. Good night. Love you all. Have an amazing night. Woo! Bye, everyone. Good night. Love you all.